Look at all that lovely gold. Beautiful sight, isn't it? Please put subtitles on. And any references will be in the subtitles. Thank you. So, the economic future, is it secure? I'm sure most of you know an answer to that already. So here we go. Is the monetary system that has established itself across the commercial system, has it become like a pack of cards that can fall with frightening speed? As we see interest rates climb, commodities double, energy prices soar, the stock market rock, and the national economy's debt become unsustainable. A prophecy says they will throw their silver into the streets and their gold will seem to be unclean. And another one in Proverbs chapter 11 verse 4 says, riches are worthless in the day of wrath, Almighty God's wrath. The existing currency was based on the gold standard. Now it is not. So it's just our confidence in what is as a means of transaction rather than being based on gold bullion. Since payment transfers are slow, many are converting their currency to cryptocurrency, which moves money instantly. This too is based in confidence that the currency holds worth. And we know that cryptocurrency has lost money recently. There is a saying, money makes the world go round. We know this is not gravitationally correct, but it's correct due to the world's commercial system. We teach our children to gain an education that will give them a good career. But what we really mean is they need money and legal ways to get it, so they and their future families can live a financially secure life. The evolution of money. Why is our world so reliant on money? Money, as history testifies, has been in existence for over 3,000 years, but it has only had a dynamic effect on humanity since the Industrial Revolution. Previously, farmers used to exchange goods with traders who would exchange goods or services. The World Forum that meets in Switzerland has recently claimed that the second industrial revolution with electronic money is due to usher in a new age where huge profits for the finance industry will bring prosperity throughout the finance sector. They call it a great reset. That leaves the impression that resetting the world economy will solve the huge world debt, rather like rebooting a computer or tablet to improve its operation. Those who control these policies are already super rich. They already have billions of dollars in their portfolio. What are their motives? Do they have moral scruples? Are they concerned about the boat people, refugees, blue-collar workers? Jesus was. He said, love your neighbour. What do they really mean with a reset? Do they really want to help the downtrodden people? Or is the reset to give them more control? Do they have their own agenda? Riches translate into power over political authorities. Many of these leaders are more wealthy than whole countries. Is it their desire to control all money that will give a small number of super rich control over the world? Those who fear God would look to him to save humanity from itself, but those who don't believe in him would take greater control over the earth for their own advantage. The common people would be the first to be sacrificed for the greater good. These are the type of people that followed Jesus when he walked the earth 2,000 years ago in the land of Israel. They came to love him. He called them the meek or sheep-like ones. But within just over 3 years, he was put to death by Roman and Jewish leaders, both political and religious. Why? He was most certainly not interested in making money, but was aware of it and gave the Apostle Peter money to pay temple tax. He was a threat because the local people were feeling freed from relying on Jewish religious and community leaders who had their own arrangement with the Roman occupiers, an arrangement that was profitable and gave them authority over these hard-working common people. Many ordinary people have complained that after 2008 banking crash, that they were paying for the banking incompetence and greed that partly caused the crash. Will a reset be the same? Most likely, but we will have to wait and see. There likely will be an apparent improvement for a while, but one thing we know is human governments have imposed large restrictions on the civil population to advance their policies they feel forced to do by the financial constraints caused by COVID-19 and now by the war in Ukraine. Who is profiting from this? Speculators. Those suffering are the small and medium businesses that are forced to close for long periods or pay the higher charges for energy and delivery. The Bible claims that when Jesus is due to return, that many will throw their money in the streets. It will be worthless. We already have seen this in a small scale and within the last 90 years. But these words of Jesus indicate it is worldwide. Why? There's an old saying, you reap what you sow. The world is ruled by humans who have systematically ruined it through war, pollution and greed. Over the time, the planet's environment has suffered to the point where non-human life is becoming extinct. The oxygen supply is threatened by deforestation. The oceans are warming to a critical point. Almighty God could see this happening at the beginning of rebellion. His only son, Jesus, said since his birth as a human to a Jewish virgin called Mary 2,000 years ago in the land of Israel, he volunteered to leave his spirit form and permit his Father Almighty God to have his life force implanted as an embryo, so as to experience being fully human. This was the start of a mission to save humanity by his arrival in setting up a proper way to worship God. But not all would want saving. The mission to begin a process to take back control of human society after it had proved to be ruining the earth. This involves two visits, one 2,000 years ago, creating a following of people who would be trained to pray for his kingdom to come, and when it comes to change the status quo, remove those on earth threatening the planet's survival. Some churchgoers call the second coming of Christ, or that would be the last days of rulership that's ruining our earth. The churches genuinely say no more about the kingdom other than it creates a nice feeling in the heart of Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses believe these last days started when Jesus arrived invisibly over 100 years ago, and that his visible arrival is imminent, since his intervention comes at the critical point. The critical point was called a Great Tribulation, where no one would survive unless he intervenes. Please remember, this critical point not only affects humans that are overpopulating the planet, but also the planet's whole ecosystem, including land animals, ocean life forms, birds and insects. Jesus has no choice but to declare war on the nations, not because he wants to, but because they will not submit to him. Submitting or surrendering means to stand down and obey Christ as the new world ruler. Most are likely to attack his followers on earth and attack his superhuman forces with nuclear weapons, with no regard for their citizens. Jesus, even when on earth as a man, was challenged about his power, and he said that he could call down 12 legions of angels. These angels are superhuman spirit forces, as is Jesus, who is a spirit with unlimited power, symbolized by a long sword protruding from his mouth, enabling him to command any actions he desires that cannot be stopped. This is good news because it means God really cares. His son we know of as Jesus wants justice for the widow and orphan, yes, the downtrodden. He will fight for these meek, unselfish people as he demonstrated 2,000 years ago. So he's our grand champion. He promised to save these people from a universal Armageddon. These he called the meek who would inherit the earth. This war is to protect those people, many millions of them, or maybe hundreds of millions, along with the planet Earth. Once the goats, those who will not submit to him, are removed permanently from life, then this government will start operating for its citizens on earth. He promised no more cancer, plenty of food, everyone will have a nice home without a mortgage. In fact, no more monetary debt. The community will learn to work together, building each other's homes. People will give their time and skills to one another without charge. There will be no money, but there will be plenty of love. Love of neighbour based on love of Jesus and the kingdom he's king of. So if you love your business, it can thrive and most certainly will not have monetary problems that we have today in the new world. Obviously, we have to cope with be realistic now. But what if this intervention by Christ is soon? Can it be a real hope for us, as with millions of Christians worshipping God today? Would you like to be amongst these people? You can if you wish. There are people learning to live this way now. Go to jw.org and click on Building Projects. Most builds for Jehovah's Witnesses are completed by volunteers who give their time willingly. Many are women doing what most people in the building trade consider as men's jobs. Any downloads from this site are free. There are no annoying adverts. There are over 1,000 languages. And as Jesus said, there's more happiness in giving than receiving. I want you to thank you all for your attention and listening to these videos. We have a number of Bible truth lesson videos as well, and a number of videos that deal with lots of questions regarding Jehovah's Witnesses. Thank you once again, and may God bless you and our beautiful planet. And look at all that lovely gold. I've got a few bars myself, but they're fake ones, you know. Thank you then. Bye.